Hi everyone, this is Holly from Hot Humble Pie. Welcome back to my Christmas series. We are going to be having so much fun this year, and as always, I hope you enjoy the show. For this project, I wanted to try a viral Christmas DIY craft that's been going around online that I haven't tried yet, so this is my take on it. I started by getting 2 of the Dollar Tree McCormick colanders, and now I'm taking some red acrylic paint from Apple Barrel, and I'm going to do 2 coats on here to cover the word McCormick, drying thoroughly in between. You could also take these outside and spray paint them with red paint, inside and out, or whatever color paint you like to use. Now I'm taking some sharp scissors and I'm going to cut off that little handle right there as best as I can to make it flush with the rim. Next, I'm using chalk paint by Folk Art in the color Cottage White, and I'm going to give these colanders 2 coats of paint. Now, I will tell you, heads up, if you have spray paint, it's better to spray paint, because what I didn't think of when I was painting is, see how I'm brushing back and forth? Those little holes kind of act like scrapers almost. It kept scraping the paint off of my brush, and then it would go into the inside of the colander, which I didn't really want to paint. And so if you are like me and you didn't want that to happen, I mean, it doesn't look bad, you're not going to see it, but I still think it just would be easier to spray paint these for sure. Now I took a utility knife and I cut this out. I did end up cutting the entire circle, like right there. I did like a little door, right? It's a flap. I did end up cutting the whole thing out because that's just easier in the end, and I'll show you why. And I'm taking the color Territorial Beige from Apple Barrel Paint, and I'm giving it a dry brush. Now, I've done this before in many of my videos, but this is always kind of a little bit different. I love the white woods, like aspen, cypress, birch, all those colors. I love the lighter woods. They actually stick out in the forest that I live next to with the river. They're so beautiful. And the way I do this is just using that color Territorial Beige, and wherever it's like a thick line of paint, I'll take a baby wipe and just wipe out the center and kind of smear it at the same time. But we end up with this effect, and it looks legit. It looks really close to the trees that I see in my forest, and I just love that look. And then the next step that I do is use the Antique Parchment by Apple Barrel and just do a very light dry brush, just here and there wherever it looks good or over areas that are too dark, and I'll show you the final results. There. Isn't that pretty? I love that, and it's so simple to do. You can put it on anything and it works. And here I spray painted this with hairspray, but not really. I mean, I knew it wouldn't be a permanent hold. I just wanted to be able to work with it without the paint chipping off. I kind of felt like it was... My kitty, sorry, just rubbed the mic. It's a rare occasion, but he is very happy to see me. I think he's only made an appearance in my videos maybe 4 times in 4 years. It's rare, it's a treat, but he came to say hello, and he's very happy purring away here to see me. So this is why I said spray paint it, because it did chip off at the bottom. I'm going to try and remove that paint, but it would look a lot cleaner if you just don't attempt to paint the bottom at all. I used some double-sided tape to stick some fairy lights down and just cut the open, all the way open, you know, the bottom of the hole, because it's just easy access, and that's what I recommend you do too. And now I'm using some raffia, and I made a bow and I glued it on top. Then I'm taking the Dollar Tree burlap ribbon and gluing that on top. I just made a looped bow, and if you want a tutorial on that, there's a video down below in my description box called 10 Christmas Bows. Everything's time stamped. You can find it there. I added the Dollar Tree berries, made that kind of swirly like a bow, and now I'm just gluing different big pieces of pine all around. Dollar Tree also carries this thick pine now, but the one I'm using is a little bit cheaper. At least it was as of this video. I am taking this more fragile pine right here and just gluing it in between some of the loops of the bow. I thought that was so pretty. And then I'm going to take and glue the red berries on, and it comes up so beautiful. And again, this is my take on it. I've seen this done all different ways. I just have never seen it, honestly, with fairy lights in it. Someone has probably done it somewhere, but I've never seen it, so I thought that would be kind of a neat twist. And we're in for a little bit of a surprise when it lights up at the end. So I really felt like this needed a pop of color, and I used some more of the ticking stripe ribbon and just put it in loops, and then glued that down inside the other ribbon and put a pine cone that was frosted in the middle of that. I'm also recycling a really cute gift tag that I used for a last year project, because since then I have decorated that cheese grater with Valentine's Day, Easter, so I took the tag off and I thought, you know what, this is perfect for this ornament. But the surprise we're going to get is that even though I painted this, it glows red still, which I love. It's Christmassy, but I didn't expect that. And I think even if you paint the inside, you're still going to get red. So beautiful. I love this DIY. I'm really excited to share this one with you today because these are the Dollar Tree gingerbread foam men that come in a package, and they're so cheap and flimsy, and I have been looking at them for 3 years, every single Christmas going, I know I can level you guys up. I can make you guys so cute. And I succeeded, so I can't wait to share. But this is a great craft, and it looks so high-end when we're done. So I'm starting off with some quilt batting here. I mean, you could use polyfiberfill, you could use cotton, you could even use crushed up Kleenex, just anything to give these guys some bulk. If you choose to use something like Kleenex, you don't have to, but I recommend that you still fold it into squares just to get enough puffiness. You don't need a lot, very little, because you're going to glue these together like this, getting it as even as you can and cutting off any excess dry glue that hangs or oozes over the edge. And after that, we're going to go ahead and take the color nutmeg and apple barrel paint and give these guys a light coat of paint on the front and the back. And to speed things up, I'm using my heat gun to dry these guys off. Next, I'm using some white paint. It's just apple barrel acrylic paint, and I'm going to give these guys a very soft dry brush. So at first I wanted some definite white lines, but when I went to do my third gingerbread man right here, see how it kind of comes out almost like cloudy? And I decided I like that better. So I take more nutmeg paint and I cover any areas that are too white or too blotchy to achieve that look on all of them. And it comes up really neat because we definitely have lots of variations here. See, look at them. It comes up really neat, but it kind of looks more like flour, or sometimes you know how the gingerbread gets a little white when you bake it. It just came up really neat. So I still don't have any black little tiny beads, and no problem. I just take some glue now and make little dots, and I made 3 sets of eyes, and I'm painting them black with apple barrel black paint. I'm going to set those aside to dry, and while they're drying, I'm taking some more of this Hobby Lobby ticking stripe material. A link is down below in my description box from Amazon. It is Hobby Lobby ticking stripe. And what I did with this scarf is I glued that one where the stripes were going horizontal, and then the next scarf I cut it so the stripes were going vertical. So hopefully the vertical and the horizontal make it look a little bit different, but add just enough matching, I guess. I liked the contrast, so that's what I ended up doing. And of course, I'm tacking my little scarf down where I want it to be so it looks like it's blowing a little bit, just to make it lay nicer. That's a nice little hack. Just use a little bit of glue just to tack your stuff down. I didn't have any buffalo check material, so instead of, I definitely wanted a black and white buffalo check on one of these guys. So I just took the ribbon that I got from, this is off of Amazon, but I think I have seen this at the Dollar Tree once. I saw it along with the gingham print. It's a rare occasion because it's not very often, but I got that one from Amazon. But I just cut off the edge, and it frays too, just like the fabric, so it really matched nicely. And once I got the little scarf situated where I wanted it, again, tacking it down with some hot glue, we just frayed the ends to look like a scarf. I didn't do that on all of them. I just thought the buffalo one looked good that way. And we're gluing the eyes down on all 3 of the gingerbread men. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I would love to have you consider joining our YouTube family. We are a very fun, chatty bunch down in the comments. I am known to be a little ASMR-ish. People tell me I'm relaxing, so if you're into relaxing crafting, you're in the right spot. Then I thought it would look really nice if I took a little bit more of this fragile pine and glued a small piece of it underneath their neck scarf on each one of their necks. Using some miniature candy that I got from Temu, I'm going to glue the little tiny peppermint candy at the very tip of the end of the pine. Coming up, I'm going to use a tray that I made. It's a craft stick video. I will leave it down below in my description box. And I'm just taking some of the Spanish moss from Dollar Tree and I'm filling it in. And this is where I'm going to lay my gingerbread men. Oh my gosh, wait till you see, you guys. This is so impressive. I mean, you have to consider what we started with. They look so cute. Look at this. Is that not adorable? I love this. This is definitely the primitive rustic look. I love that for Christmas. So I took some of the Dollar Tree red bulbs just for a pop of color and I'm putting them in the tray. And then I decided to take a bow made out of raffia and just kind of stick some raffia in the tray. I tucked it under the gingerbread men and then I tucked some in the bottom left-hand corner as well. And that's it. I love this. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. For this cute little project, you're just going to need one Dollar Tree sign, and I'm taking some spackling, filling in the holes, and I'm using a spatula to make sure it's flat. Now I'm using my handy dandy little saw. If you're interested in this saw, it is tagged below my video with tagged products, and I'm going to cut the Dollar Tree sign down like this. I guess it's maybe 2/3. And there was this weird rubbery stuff on the back of the sign here, so I just peeled it off, no problem. And I'm going to go ahead and use another part of the sign now to cut a thin strip. And when I saw these signs like this, and or anything that is kind of long, because this isn't a super strong saw, it can slow down too much if you try to go all the way through. So I find if I cut halfway, then flip it around and cut the other half, it works perfectly fine that way, and you still get a nice even cut as long as you're staying on your line. Next, I'm taking some white paint from Apple Barrel. It's just white and it's matte, and I'm going to go ahead and give one coat to both of these pieces. I'm going to take my heat gun to give it a quick dry so we can keep moving along. And then I'm taking black paint and painting this part. Now I could have just painted this part black at the time. I didn't know what I wanted to do again, but if you know what you want to do ahead of time, you can absolutely just paint that black. And I'm going to paint, oh, that was probably about 5 inches down the sign. I'm going to paint that half black as well. Now using a baby wipe, I'm going to go and kind of rub off some of the paint on purpose. This is like a wet distress, just so that some of the color underneath shows and it looks a little bit more rustic. And of course, we're going to give that a quick blow dry as well. Now taking white paint from Apple Barrel again, it's the same white paint. I'm going to give a light distressing to the black part. Using a little thicker paint now in white, I'm going to go ahead and add some snow on top. And that's how I do it. I just add quite a bit of paint on the tip of my brush, and then I just dip down in different areas to make it look like it landed there on the edge. And there's our little hat. Next, I'm going to take a craft stick and I'm going to try and cut it kind of rugged and, make it look like a carrot. In case you haven't guessed, we're going to make a snowman. And this actually came out really good, but I definitely wanted my little nose 3D. So with this, you don't have to be perfect. It doesn't matter. However you cut it, it will usually come out right. That was my first attempt, and I was really pleased with the results. And of course, I'm going to paint his little carrot nose orange. Next, I'm going to frost up his little carrot nose just a little bit with white paint, and then using a regular old pencil, I'm going to put some lines here and there to imitate the lines on a carrot. Now I'm using these wood pieces that I bought with a set of wood pieces from Temu. I don't remember what it was for, but they made the perfect eye shape, so I used them as a template to make some eyes, and I'm using the larger permanent marker to color them in. I decided I wanted to go ahead and make circles for his mouth as well, so I went ahead and I colored in some circles. Now I did use a template for this as well. I didn't show it on film, but I would definitely not be able to make such perfect circles without a template, so just so you know, I did cheat a little bit on that one. And now using some lipstick, also from the Dollar Tree, I'm going to make some rosy cheeks. I want to put his nose down first though, because I want to make sure I place his cheeks right. And they did come up way brighter than what I thought. So to remedy that, all I did was just take some more white paint and dry brush a little bit over his cheeks. Then using some hot glue, I'm going to go ahead and glue down the rim of his hat, and I'm going to glue it down a little bit sideways. Next, I'm going to glue down his nose and add a bow to the top of his hat. I took some baker's twine and I wrapped it around my fingers to make another bow, and then I put that in the center of the ticking stripe ribbon, and I just started adding some pine all around this little snowman. And the pine that I'm using is linked down below in the description box, except for the one I'm cutting right now. That's not in my description box, but that one is from Dollar Tree. Next, I'm taking some Dollar Tree berries off one of their floral picks, and I'm going to go ahead and add that to the top. Now I'm using some cinnamon, and this is a great hack for rusting up bells for those of you that have never seen it before. My favorite color for rust out of all of the apple barrel paints is nutmeg brown. It's been that way for I think the entire time I've crafted. I just love that color. And all you do is when the paint's wet, you can use any brown paint for this though, you just sprinkle some cinnamon over it, shake it off, and now I'm spraying it down with some hairspray, and boom, you literally have a rusted vintage bell. And I went ahead and glued that under the bow. Now I'm taking a little bit of brown paint. I always forget to distress my nose and stuff on the crafts until after I'm done, because I'm never sure I want to do that. It makes it a lot harder. So if you know you want to emphasize the nose a little bit, do this before you glue it down. But I'm just taking some of the nutmeg brown. I went around his nose and around his face to edge it a little bit. I'm going to use some plaid red ribbon from Temu for a neck scarf, and I'm also going to be drilling 2 holes at the top of his hat and tying some black curly wire through it to hang him, because I thought that would be a nice look, but the wire from Dollar Tree was way too weak. It kept coming uncurled, so for those of you that are wondering, I did find some at Walmart. It's 17 gauge. It was $3, I think, for 6 feet. But I went ahead and frosted up his pine, frosted up his nose, and you could even use the rest of the sign for his nose. So for one Dollar Tree sign, let me know what you think. If you enjoyed today's video and had fun, here are some more videos I think you'll enjoy watching next.